So once again, Shirin Bhai said, introduction has been done, but I always like adding a little bit about myself. And Farhan also gave me away just a little bit when he was introducing me by saying that I'm going to talk about my TED Talk. So what I'm going to talk about is the pronunciation, the grammar, and how you present your speech. Remember what Shirin Bhai said, that your speech comes in 3 parts. You have the topic and the conclusion. So I'll be covering all those 3 areas, and you will notice that all 4 speakers for today have a bit of an overlap, but that's to your advantage. My first opening sentence to all of you, which I hope you remember till the end. I'm a proud graduate with F in math. And this was my opening statement when I went on stage speaking in front of 500 people in a TED Talk. I needed to have the guts to do that. And the next reaction was I had all the youth in the room standing and applauding for me, and I had the teachers shocked, and they stood up applauding as well. And I said, so before I go on, I want to know, why are the teachers clapping for me? They said, because we know you're going to say something which educators should have known years ago. So, if universities looked at me with my F in math, I wouldn't have been where I am today. And my topic at that time was that no paper result should define a child's destiny. Today, alhamdulillah, I hold a doctorate in education. I'm an author. I own my own school. Although it took me 21 years working in education, I am, alhamdulillah, where I am today. But learning is a journey that never ends. I'm still learning, and every day is a new experience for me. So, my opening statement, you all remember it? Which is, I'm a proud graduate, not a graduate, I'm a proud graduate with F in math. That is something you will remember till the end. And that's what you need to do, impact. And whenever you start something, you want every speaker, every judge to remember that statement, because that's what's going to get you through the rest of your talk, the rest of your speech, the rest of your presentation. Right. So, we're going to cover these key facts during the next 20 minutes. Identify your desired outcome, which I've already explained to you right at the beginning, that my opening statement is what's going to ring a bell in your head right till the end, thinking, she's a graduate with F, how did she make it through then? You're going to keep thinking that every time I say something, right? Use a conversational tone, passion for the topic, don't rely too much on your slides. So all these I'm going to explain through. Practice, 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 pronunciation, grammar, tenses, provide value to your audience, your delivery style. Okay? So, when you start your talk, like Shirin Bhai said, and I said there would be a bit of an overlap, your audience, the judges in the room, the people you're talking to, need to know what your goal is. So my goal here wasn't to tell you to fail in math, yeah? I was just trying to tell you that every human being in life can be successful. And that's why you're all here today. You've made it through step 1. You should be honored to be selected. And now you have to make your name and prove yourself. You're not proving yourself to anyone but yourself. Remember, you only lived up to your own expectations. You don't have to live up to anyone else's expectations apart from your Lord, right? You need to think when you're preparing your speech, what do you want your audience to walk away with? What is it that you want to deliver? What is it that you want them to remember even months and months after the event is done, right? As you're going by in your speech, you need to build your talking points. You build your points in such a way that it is connecting one to the other, not leaving your judges and audience trying to fill the gaps in between, thinking, okay, she started saying something else, now she's jumped to something else. I don't see the connection, right? It has to be a continuum. And whatever your opening statement is, whatever you want your audience to walk away with, your speech should be supporting that goal of yours. All right? It's not like I'm going to talk to you about a recipe of a cake and I end up saying, well, my cold coffee tasted so nice. Right? Sorry, again, I'm using food and we're fasting. It's just a woman thing, I guess. Your tone is so important. If I was standing here without body language and I'm kind of going just at one monotonous tone trying to get all your attention, you're going to think she's so boring. Your tonation, the high, the low, the eye contact, your body language is very, very important. I know I'm overlapping a little bit of what Brother Ashik is going to say as well, but I'm sorry. So the way your body moves, it needs to liaise with your voice as well. Now you're wondering why I'm quiet. Even a pause creates an impact. And when you want to create an impact on your audience, learn how to pause in between. Incorporate examples and anecdotes. Giving your own personal examples are the best, like Shirin Bai has done, because it resonates with the listener. They know that you've been through the experience, you've felt it, and you've shared it. And when you share your personal experiences, the speakers know it has touched you in a way that will make a difference to them as well. And hence, we're sharing it. All right? When you're talking, whatever your speech is, be brief. Don't make it so long or lengthy. Don't repeat yourself because it gets boring. Be clear and precise. When I say clear and precise, your pronunciation. I remember growing up, and no offense to anyone, we all have been through different schools. I always used to remember this teacher of mine who used to say, "Can you ask the question?" And I always say, "Miss," but this was grade 1. I'm like, "Can you say that again?" She'd say, "Ask me a question." So I said, "But when you spell it, it's ASK. So why do we say ask? Is that how it is?" Now, I didn't mean to embarrass her, but she was taken aback. She's like, "Why are you asking me such a question?" Well, she said, "Why are you asking me such a question? Are you trying to say I'm wrong?" I said, "No, I'm trying to learn the right way of saying it, because I hear 2 ways of now pronouncing ask and ask, so I need to know which is the right way." So when you're saying something, make sure your pronunciation is precise, loud, and clear. We all have different accents. We all either follow the American or the British language. Some of us may say water, and some of us may say water, right? Try to have an accent that is audible to everyone, all right? Your tenses. They say your words speak for you, your actions speak for you. If I were to come and say, "Yesterday I goed to the market," you're going to start giggling. I'm not saying English is our mother tongue, but like Shirin Bai said, it's everyone's comfort zone. So when you are preparing yourself to go to a speech, record yourself. Ask someone to listen to you. Use your thesauruses. I know we all hate dictionaries and thesauruses, but always try to use words which are loud and impactful. And if you don't know the word, learn it, understand it. Google has everything right now. Google even teaches you how to pronounce words. That's how far the world has evolved to. So pronunciation, your structure, the body, all of this is very, very necessary and important, right? So, make slides an aid and not a crutch. Here I'll share something about myself. When I had to do the TED Talk, so I'm a person who loves the mic. I can go on for hours. And Hassan put me on the spot saying 20 minutes and not more. I said, ooh, I never do less than 30, but okay, 20. So when I was talking at the IST TED Talk, these were a bunch of youngsters, right? IB1, IB2 students. And when I presented my first PowerPoint to them, they called me, they're like, "Sorry, Dr. Zohra, can you please reduce the number of words?" I said, I need all of those words. They're like, "No. In TED Talks, you have 2 or 3 words or 2 sentences, not paragraphs." I said, "Well, I'm a person of words. I need to see it to remember it." They're like, "Don't worry. Reduce the words. We're going to have a screen prompter in front of you in case you require it." I said, "Not in case. I definitely need it because I don't remember everything I need to say." Old school, we're taught with a lot of books, and I'm used to reading things off. We had a number of rehearsals, and every time I saw a young speaker going, they did not look at the prompter, they didn't even use note cards, and I kept thinking, wow, I wish I could do that. Anyway, comes the big day when you have this big spotlight on you, you're not allowed to step out of the red circle, and I'm a person who loves going everywhere. I'm thinking, gosh, too many rules, I don't like rules, I feel confined. I started, and when I started with the opening statement, when I saw the applause, I saw the excitement, I was so passionate about what I was talking because I want to put an end to exams. I hate the word exams. I did not look at the teleprompter even once. And when I got off stage, one of the youngsters came to me saying, do you realize that you didn't look at the teleprompter even once because I haven't flicked it for you? I said, really? I did it. So I learned something 2 years ago which I didn't do all these years. And that is what you need to understand, that PowerPoints are just supposed to be an aid to you, just in case you feel you forget something, even note cards. Usually I tell youth, try not to go with a note card because you kind of stutter and stammer and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot that, and you try to go back and then you lose the order because you're going up and down. Have words as prompters, but don't have sentences and paragraphs. That would lose you, right? Limit reliance on note cards. I've said that. And how do you do this? So like I said, when I was doing the TED Talk, we had numerous practices, and I would say that I was the oldest speaker that day. I'm not going to share my age with you. That's my secret, but I'm old enough. I have a 16-year-old daughter, so you should know I'm quite old. And I kept telling them that I don't need these practices. I've been doing this all my life. And they said, sorry, with due respect to whatever you say, you need to come. And the number of times I went, each time I was getting better at doing it. So I realized sometimes when you're overconfident, it is a bit of a disadvantage. But because they showed me the way, and I had to abide to the rules, every time I went up there, I trimmed down, I remained within the time frame, and I just became better at doing it. So you keep practicing. The one thing that I know my dad taught me when I was small, and that's why I love the mic so much, because he does as well, he used to talk in the mirror. And I would walk by the room and I'd see him doing this, and I'm like, Dad, are you okay? Do you need a psychiatrist, or can I get Mom? He's like, no, this is practice. I'm like, but who are you practicing with? You're not even talking. He's like, no, I'm just looking at my hand actions. I want to see if the watch looks good on me. I'm like, even that matters? He's like, yes, and also remember, when you're on stage, never fidget with your ring. Never fidget with the end of your dress. Never fidget with something you're wearing. I said, why? He said, that's a sign of nervousness. So the first time I went on stage, I did all of that because I kept thinking, okay, Dad said not to do this, and I'd leave it. And I'd hold my ring, oh, Dad said not to do that. So a bit of too much of don't, and that's exactly what I did. But again, practice makes perfect. Record yourself, ask someone to record you. Go through it. You learn through your own mistakes, right? Okay, so some important facts, some fun facts, I would say. Rejoice in the first mistake you make on stage. Now, does that sound a little crazy? How would I know you've made a mistake? You know what you want to say. You know your script. You know what's in your mind. Just move ahead. I would not know, neither would these speakers know if I've made a mistake right now. None of you know if I've bluffed right now or if I've goofed up. Rejoice it. When you make a mistake, you know you're on the right path. You just pick yourself up stronger and you go ahead stronger. We all fall down in life. We've all fallen billions of times, and that's what makes us stronger beings. So when you make your mistake, don't say, oops, nobody knew it. Just go on. Just make the flow be really smooth, okay? Your voice and body should reflect your passion for the talk, your topic. So just the way I've been talking, this tonation, my hands, my voice, my eyes, my everything speaks because I'm so passionate about holding the mic in my hand. I love speaking, right? And excitement is infectious and inspiring. As I was talking, I saw smiles, I saw giggles. I know you're wearing masks, but I read eye language very well. That's why I'm a counselor, right? When you see people like Yazin Mogahed, when you see Ammar Shwani talking, see all these speakers over here talking, you immediately catch on to the rhythm. You catch on to every word they say. Why? Because of the passion. And excitement is infectious. We all like feeling excited. One of you is excited, the one next to you feels it. It's like a vibe. When the positivity comes into the room, the vibe goes through everyone. That's how passionate you need to be when you're talking on stage, right? Okay, so repeat the question asked by judges. That sounds silly as well. So for instance, if I were to ask you, so what was the worst experience of your life? There are times that when a judge asks you a question, you're just caught at the spur of the moment. but your mind takes time to process, and you don't want to start stuttering and getting scared. I have so many worst experiences. Which one do I talk about? You don't want to show that you're not prepared. So what I learned from a lot of people is, if I was asked a question, I would repeat it. I'm like, what's my worst experience? So you don't know that I'm actually thinking, but I'm literally repeating what you've asked me, which is giving me enough time to decide which one I want to talk about, which one is in my comfort zone, and which one is going to be impactful. You can repeat it once, repeat it twice, don't repeat it thrice, because then you're giving yourself away. Okay? So, that's my 20 minutes, Hassan. I hope I've stayed in my time frame.